We made it through 18 weeks, and the Philadelphia Eagles are in the regular season finale taking on their division rival, the New York Giants. This game doesn't have any real meaning for either team in terms of the standings. The New York Giants simply trying to avoid falling out of the top 5 spots in the NFL draft in 2025, whereas the Philadelphia Eagles are locked into the number 2 seed. So this game doesn't have a whole lot of meaning, but this will give Eagles players an opportunity to show themselves before the head coach, the coaching staff, Howie Roseman, and others who are involved. So it is an important game for players who are farther down on the roster, and it's an important game for the Eagles thinking longer term as the Philadelphia Eagles vie for draft needs going down the line. The Eagles obviously not playing a whole lot of their starters today, and right now it's just the waiting game to see who they will face next week in the wild card round, where the Eagles will host a divisional round playoff, or a wild card playoff game as the winners of the NFC East. Welcome to Birds Nest Media's coverage of the Philadelphia Eagles regular season finale against the New York Giants. I'm Joe Donahue. Thank you so much for joining us. It is a little bit of a blackout game for the Philadelphia Eagles today. They'll be wearing their black jerseys, black helmets. New York Giants on the road obviously will be wearing white. So it was a good season, and definitely going into this game we have a lot better of a feeling about this Eagles team than we did this time last year when we were going into the playoffs not feeling quite as confident. This time we're definitely feeling a lot more confident. Eagles hold the number 2 seed. Nick Sirianni has a NFL leading 47 wins in the first 4 seasons of his head coaching career in Philadelphia. The other big story, obviously, Saquon Barkley, who crossed the 2,000 rushing yards threshold last week against the Dallas Cowboys in the game that clinched the NFC East for the Philadelphia Eagles. Saquon will not be starting this game. He's not even on the active roster. He was listed as inactive for the day. So he, very simply put, will not be crossing that 2106 yard mark that would be needed to break the all-time single season rush record in the NFL that was set by Eric Dickerson. So that record will remain intact for the time being. Certainly Saquon will have an opportunity to try to break that next year, and Saquon will also have an opportunity to break that single season plus playoffs rushing record over the course of the playoff run, however long that may be. There was a lot of discussion about whether or not Saquon should start this game, should go for that record. I personally was one of the folks who was in full agreement with what wound up happening. Nick Sirianni wound up saying that he wasn't going to be putting Saquon on the field. I was in full agreement with that from the time that the clock hit 0. Especially when the clock hit 0 in the Minnesota Vikings game, because the Eagles didn't have anything to play for. And especially when you look at what happened yesterday with Zay Flowers, who suffered a knee sprain in the Baltimore Ravens' victory over the Cleveland Browns, which clinched for them the AFC North. Zay Flowers is probably going to miss the first round of the playoffs, and that's a big hit for them. The Eagles aren't playing in a meaningful game today in terms of record, in terms of things like that. The Baltimore Ravens absolutely were playing in that kind of a game, playing in a game that had meaning, playing in a game that mattered for them. Because if the Ravens won, and they did, they clinched the AFC North. So, this Eagles game doesn't have meaning And knowing Nick Sirianni's track record for it either way, it is fully expected that the starters aren't going to play. So the Eagles are going to take, it's not a full bye, it's going to be a faux bye, is what I'm calling it. It's not quite a real bye because the Eagles actually have to play a game today, and they will play a game next week. So it's not like a week off, so to speak. There's not an extended period of time where the Eagles are going to have off. But they are using this opportunity to rest starters, and that is a big thing for them going into this, because they will have an opportunity to really solidify this Philadelphia Eagles team going into this game. So the Eagles, just a quick note, the Eagles did rest 11 players. So 11 players are inactive. The only one of particular note that isn't just because of rest is Jalen Hurts is out due to a concussion. He's still in the concussion protocol from his hit that he endured in the Washington Commanders game. So he's still in concussion protocol. But players like Darius Slay, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Nakobe Dean, Saquon Barkley, Zach Bond, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, and Landon Dickerson, and Jalen Carter are being rested this game. This is something, quick hat tip to Zach Berman of PHLY Sports, and he's the pool reporter for the Philadelphia area beat reporters from the Pro Football Writers of America. The Philadelphia Eagles last started, or they last rested fewer than enough players to fill the 48-person active in the season finale in 2020 against the Washington Commanders. So the Eagles actually don't have enough players on the active roster right now to field the full team. So we'll probably see a number of the practice squad players. We'll probably see those folks out there. So that's just something to be mindful of in that regard. They are doing the national anthem right now. As we're just a few minutes away from kickoff here. We're about 2 minutes away. They're doing the national anthem in honor of, in particular honor of the late President Jimmy Carter, who passed away recently. So that is where things stand there. One starter we will expect to see is Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert is back from injury today. He was activated off of the injured reserve. He will play in his first game back. We'll probably see him play a couple of series. We probably won't see him play the full game. But we'll probably see him play a couple of series, get into the mix of getting passes, of catching passes again, getting hit again, play a little bit with Tanner McKee and with others. So that's kind of where things stand. If you're new here, definitely feel free to like and subscribe to Bird's Nest Media. It really helps the channel out. In addition, please feel free to leave some comments in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what your hopes are. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are about everything that's going on in Eagles world, especially as it relates to this game, as we go through the course of this game, and as we go into the playoffs. What are your thoughts, hopes for the playoffs? I know a lot of people out there are kind of have the feeling of Super Bowl or bust after the decision was made to rest Saquon. So there's definitely a lot of that sentiment out there. It is a chilly day in the Philadelphia area. We are hovering right around freezing temperatures. It's a little windy of a day, too, so just something to be mindful of as the Eagles play in this game. Obviously, as fans, we want the Eagles to go 18-0 or 17-0, but that is unlikely always, and certainly not going to happen this season. There are a number of games that are going to be happening over the course of today that are going to be held, or that do have some playoff implications. The biggest one is actually we don't know who the NFC South winner is yet. So the NFC South, as is custom, because that is definitely one of the worst divisions in the league. The NFC South winner will have the number 4 seed in the NFC playoff bracket. So that's what's going on there. The Atlanta Falcons hold the tiebreaker over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a game up on the Falcons. So how it works. So Tampa Bay is playing the New Orleans Saints. Atlanta is playing Carolina. If Tampa Bay wins, Tampa Bay clinches the NFC South. If Tampa Bay loses, Atlanta has to win. So those games will be happening today during that 1 o'clock time slot. So I will definitely keep you updated on those because that could have some implications regarding who the Eagles' future opponents may be in the playoffs. We'll also keep tabs on the Chicago versus Green Bay and the Dallas versus Washington game. That game will determine. Those two games will determine who the Eagles' first round in the playoffs opponent will be. New York has 11 straight losses in Philadelphia. They haven't won in Lincoln Financial Field since 2013. So it's going to be a rough day for them. They might win today in a meaningless game. Who knows? I never pick against the Eagles if they're going to win, but Tanner McKee out there warming up on the sidelines. .31 at Lincoln Financial Field, right about 19, 20 mile an hour winds. Glad you're with us. Eagles won the toss and deferred, so the New York Giants will get things going for us. Braden Mann is back on to do the kickoffs after Jake Elliott was doing it last week. And the kick is away. And this game is underway, and it's going to bounce right out the 5 and roll into the end zone for a touchback. So the New York Giants will get things going at their own 20-yard line. So that is one of the facets of the kickoff rule, is that if the ball lands in the landing zone, it touches down in the landing zone and rolls through the back of the end zone, it is a touchback at the 20. So the Giants have a little bit longer of a starting field position. The Giants are not resting their starters today for inexplicable reasons. So we see the Giants lining up. Lining up in the gun, back to his right, takes a snap, hands it off, and is going to get up to about the 26-yard line. That goes Malik Neighbors. So that was Drew Lock at quarterback to Malik Neighbors. He was brought down by Jeremiah Trotter and Mora Ojomo. And so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 situation. And we are at about 14, 33, 32, 31, 30 left in the first quarter of this game. Glad you're with us. Thanks so much for stopping by. So we've got Locke in the gun, back to his right. Locke takes a snap, hands it off, and that is going to pick up about 2. Goes up the middle for about 2 yards. Brings up a 3rd and 2 situation from the Giants' 28-yard line. So Locke lines up in the gun, back to his left. It's a 3rd and short. Locke takes a snap, hands it off, and that is going to be a first down and picks up a couple more. Gets up to about the 33-yard line. It is going to be 1st and 10 for the Giants. That was Singletary on the run. Devin Singletary, and that was a 5-yard pickup for the Giants. Brought down by Kelly Ringo. Giants have not been a good 3rd down team. They're 27th in the league going into this game on 3rd down conversions. So we have Locke in the gun, back to his left. Locke takes a snap. He's back. He's looking. Throws across the middle. That is caught right around the 45-yard line. And that is Wan'Dale Robinson. So that is a 6-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 4 for the Giants. So we have 2nd and 4. Locke lines him up. Pistol formation. Takes a snap. Hands it off and is going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And no farther goes Tyrone Tracy Jr. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 situation. So final week of the regular season. Again, glad you're here with us. Locke in the gun, back to his left. Locke takes a snap, hands it off, and that is going to break free for a first down. Gets up to, now it's up to the 45. I apologize. It's 1st and 10 at the 48 now. So it is 1st and 10. We have about 11 and a half minutes left in the first quarter of this game. Locke in the gun. It's a pistol formation. Sends a man in motion. And now we have our first flag of the game. So we'll hear from Ronald Torbert, our referee. And it is a false start. They're going to get Jake Kubas, one of the offensive guards, for the false start. Jake Kubas, the right guard. So that's going to march the Giants back a little bit. It's now going to be 1st and 15 from their own 43. Pistol formation for the Giants. Locke is in the gun. Locke takes a snap, dumps it off, and that is going to be back up to about the 45-yard line goes Wan'Dale Robinson. So it is 2nd and 14 for the Giants. They're only going to credit them up to the 44. So 2nd and 14. So we have Locke now under center. Couple backs in the backfield. Locke takes a snap, hands it off, and that is going to get about 2 yards there on the pickup. That's going to force the Giants into their first 3rd down and long situation of the day. They are 2 for 2 on 3rd downs, but they've been 3rd and shorts. That was Tyrone Tracy again on the run. So got up to, it's going to bring up 3rd and 12 for the Giants. Locke is in the gun. We have an empty backfield. We have Eric Gray wide out to the near side. Locke takes a snap, back, looking, pressure's coming, Locke throws, and that's going to be caught only up to about the Eagles' 49-yard line is where they're going to mark him down. caught by Bellinger, Daniel Bellinger. And they're actually going to say he's only up to the 50. So it is going to bring up 4th and 8 from midfield. And we had Isaiah Rogers on the stop. And the Giants look like they're going to go for it here on 4th down. It's 4th and 8. They adjusted it. It's up to the 49. So Locke in the gun. We've got a back to his right. Eagles sending 4. Locke takes a snap, back looking, throws, and that is going to be incomplete. And the Eagles will take over. They were looking for Darius Slayton. It was broken up by Kelly Ringo, and the Eagles will take over at their own 49-yard line. With a first down, and we will see Tanner McKee take over. There's a timeout on the field with 8:52 left in the first quarter. It is scoreless. Eagles about to take the field. So it was a 10-play, 31-yard drive for the New York Giants on that drive there. It took 6 minutes, 8 seconds, and the Giants had nothing to show for it. Giants, the drive sputtered it out at midfield. We shall do a quick check of games around the league. So, again, a couple of important games going on. Atlanta is playing Carolina. Atlanta is up 3-0 with 11:08 left in the first quarter of that game. We are scoreless in Dallas. The Cowboys are taking on the Washington Commanders. 8:27 left in the first quarter there. Green Bay versus Chicago. It is 0-0 over there. 10:37 left in the first quarter. Indianapolis 7, Jacksonville nothing in the first quarter of that game. That game is being played in Indianapolis. 10:59 left in the first quarter there. It is scoreless in New England. New England is playing Buffalo in a game that absolutely means nothing for them. It is 11:43 left in the first quarter of that game. Houston Texans are on top of the Tennessee Titans, 7-0 at 7:43 left in the first quarter of that game. And then the New Orleans Saints are up 3 on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with with 9:16 left in the first quarter of that game. So the games that matter: New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Carolina, Dallas, Washington, and Green Bay, Chicago. Those are the games that matter because those will determine the last of the teams and where players fall and where seeding is going to rank in the NFC. So Tanner McKee, we are back from commercial break. Tanner McKee is starting. This is his first career start for the Eagles. He was 3 for 5 last week against Dallas. McKee under center, takes a snap, back looking, throwing, and that is going to be caught and complete and picks up the first down and a whole bunch more. And that is Dallas Goedert. Again, first Dallas Goedert sighting in a while. So Tanner McKee connecting with Dallas Goedert. It's a 16-yard pickup. Pushed out of bounds by Brian Burns of the New York Giants. So yeah, we're going to see Dallas Goedert a little bit again because the Eagles, this is his first game back from injury. So big first down pickup for the Eagles star tight end here. So we have McKee under center, back in the backfield, takes the snap, hands it off to Kenny Gainwell. Gainwell's going to pick up about 4. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 7 from the Giants' 32-yard line. And we are approaching the 8-minute mark left in this first quarter of the game. Again, Eagles resting a whole lot of their starters. Jalen Hurts out due to a concussion anyway, still in the concussion protocol. And again, a lot of starters rested, including Saquon Barkley. Saquon will not get the rushing record, single-season rushing record. Pistol formation for the Eagles. Tanner McKee in the gun. Kenny Gainwell behind him. McKee takes a snap, fakes to Gainwell, throws, and that is going to be caught by Dallas Goedert for the first down. Right around the 15-yard line, picks up a couple of yards after the catch there. So it is 1st and 10 for the Eagles from the Giants' 15-yard line. They're going to credit Pinnock with the tackle, so that's Jason Pinnock there. And Goddard's off to the sideline, so we've got Grant Calcaterra in now. Pistol formation again for the Eagles. 3 receivers on the far side. McKee takes a snap. He's back. He's rolling to his left. He's going to throw, and that is going to be caught. And that is a touchdown to Ainias Smith. That is a touchdown, Ainias Smith, and the Eagles are on top. They get the first score of this game. Four plays, 51 yards. They're checking to make sure that the ball actually crossed the plane of the goal line before he was down. The ruling on the field is a touchdown. They're probably going to confirm this. Yep, they did. So Jake Elliott's on to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up. And it is good. With 6:51 left to play in the first quarter of this game, the Eagles take an early touchdown lead over the New York Giants. It is the Eagles 7, the Giants nothing. So, quick 4-play, 51-yard drive resulted in a touchdown pass to Ainias Smith. Tanner McKee 3 for 3 on that drive. One run by Kenny Gainwell, picked up 3 yards. And that is the first scoring play of this game. So we're just checking again on the throughout. We'll check in on some of the other games here. So the Washington Commanders right now, they have it 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line. 7:26 left in the first quarter there. They are down 3-0 to the Dallas Cowboys. The Green Bay Packers have the football at the Chicago Bears 44-yard line. 7 minutes left in the first quarter of that game. And it is scoreless over there at Lambeau Field. The other important games going on for the NFC, Carolina is losing to Atlanta 3-0, which is what Atlanta needs to happen. Atlanta needs to win this game if they want their playoff hopes to stay alive. And again, there's about 7:53 left in the first quarter of that game, so there's still plenty of football left. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are losing to the New Orleans Saints 3-0. It's 3rd and 11 on the New Orleans 40 there. They actually just picked up 1 yard, so it's 4th and 10 now on the New Orleans 39. So not a good look for Tampa Bay in the first quarter of that game. But that is where things stand there. So those are the important games. We'll try to give you updates on throughout. Again, playoff scenarios, Atlanta has to win and Tampa Bay has to lose for Atlanta to be the NFC South champion. Otherwise, Tampa Bay will win the NFC South. In addition, all right, and that kick is Braden Mann's going to kick this away, and that's going to go out of bounds. So the Giants will get the ball at their own 40 after that disaster. They're showing highlights from last week. The Eagles fan, Patrick Driscoll, getting the A.J. Brown jersey after A.J. Brown accidentally launched Tanner McKee's first touchdown pass into the stands. Drew Lock's lining up under center. A couple backs in the backfield, takes a snap, hands it off, and that's going to pick up a yard. It's going to bring up 2nd and 9 from the Giants' 41-yard line. So, here we go. We've got Locke now in the gun, split backs. Locke takes the snap, and that's going to be caught incomplete. It was in and out of his hands. He was looking for Malik Neighbors. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9 again. That was a little screen over to the far side. So it'll be 3rd and 9. We've got 6:10 left in the first quarter of this game here. Locke in the gun, back to his left. Locke takes a snap. He's back. He's going to hand it off, and Tracy is going to get 2 yards on that. It gets up to the 43-yard line, but a whole lot of nothing there. So it's 4th and 7 from the Giants' 43, and this will probably send the punt unit on. So Jamie Gillen on to punt this away. Cooper DeJean back to return it. Gillen gives it the boot. And fair catch right around the 14. And I'm sorry, that was not Cooper DeJean. I misread the number. That was Jahan Dotson. So, timeout on the field with 5:16 left in the first quarter of this game. Eagles on top of the Giants 7-0. So yeah, again, we're monitoring multiple games right now due to seeding. Yeah, so I mean the biggest ones right now. So Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh really is one of the going to be one of the more interesting ones in the AFC because they lost yesterday. They lost to the Cincinnati Bengals. So Pittsburgh could slip a little bit depending on how the LA Chargers do later today, playing against Las Vegas. Houston is pretty well locked in. Houston's playing right now. They're locked in at the 4th seed. They are the AFC South Division winners. Yeah, the division winner seeding's pretty well locked in. So I'll do a quick showing there. Yeah, so division winner seeding pretty well locked in at this point for both conferences. So I mean, this is where your playoff picture looks like. On the AFC side, Kansas City obviously number 1 overall. Then we have Buffalo, Baltimore, Houston. The LA Chargers, if they win later today, will hold on to this top spot here. Pittsburgh, after losing, could slide to the 6th seed. The AFC South has the big question of Denver versus Miami. I'll come back to this because we're coming back from the commercial break. So if Green Bay wins and Washington loses, the Eagles will play Green Bay. Otherwise, the Eagles will play Washington. All right, so the Eagles are starting from their own 14-yard line. McKee under center, takes a snap, throws, and that is going to be caught for the first down. Goes Dallas Goedert. It's a big 12-yard pickup. And that will bring up a first down. So again, good to see Dallas Goedert in and maneuvering here. Yeah, first he gets up to the 27-yard line, so that's a 13-yard pickup. And Goddard's going to hop over to the sideline again. They're trying to rest as many of their starters as possible. So, but Goddard needs to play because he hasn't played in a couple weeks. So McKee's under center. Kenny Gainwell deep in the backfield. McKee takes a snap, fakes to Gainwell. He's back. He's got time. He throws, and that is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Johnny Wilson, could not connect with him. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 from the Eagles' 27. Clock has stopped at 4:28 left in the first quarter. The Eagles right now losing the time of possession battle, but the Eagles winning in the score right now. So it is 1st and 10. McKee is in the gun. Takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Kenny Gainwell. Gainwell's going to be lucky if they spot this at the line of scrimmage. He was hit immediately at the line. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Eagles. So McKee in the gun, empty backfield. McKee takes a snap, throws, and that is going to be caught. Just shy of the first down is Jahan Dotson. Brought down by Jackson of the Giants, so Adoree Jackson. And that's going to bring up 4th and 1. We'll see if the Eagles do their brotherly shove or if they try to, they say go for it. People are waving out there saying go. A.J. Brown's on the sideline saying go for it. A.J. Brown wants him to get it. It is 4th and 1 from the Eagles' 36-yard line. They're brotherly shoving this one here. And the Giants jumped. The Giants jumped. The Giants jumped. They got Drew Phillips on the neutral zone infraction, and that was supremely obvious. He almost made like helmet contact with Darian Kinnard. So it is now 1st and 10 for the Eagles after not having to do a shove. 1st and 10, balls on the Eagles 41. McKee under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Kenny Gainwell. Gainwell's going to get tripped up at the line. Does pick up about 2. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Eagles from the 43-yard line. 2:50 left to play in the first quarter of this game. So we now have McKee in the gun. We have a back to his left. Ainias Smith going in motion to the far side. McKee takes a snap. He's back. He throws, and that's going to be caught for a first down and into Giants territory goes Jahan Dotson. So that is a big pickup for the Eagles. Gets up to the Giants' 44-yard line. That's going to be a 13-yard pickup. And the Eagles are in Giants territory once again. So it is 1st and 10. McKee takes the snap. He's going to roll out to his right. He's going to throw, and that is going to be at the feet of Dallas Goedert. That is incomplete. Goedert was able to get a hand on it, but couldn't get there, and he's hit pretty quickly. So we'll see if he is. Yeah, that throw was behind Goedert and down. So it was going to be one of those things he would have to scoop it up. So it wasn't a great throw. It is 2nd and 10, though. 1:45 left in the first quarter of this game. Ball's on the Giants' 44. McKee in the gun. Gainwell to his right. McKee takes a snap. Hands it off to Gainwell. Gainwell is going to get inside the 40 down to about the 39-yard line, where he's going to get stopped there. That's going to bring up 3rd down, and we have about 90 seconds left in the first quarter of this game. Tanner McKee, 6th-round draft pick, in the gun. Drafted in the 6th round of the 2023 NFL Draft. So he's in the gun. Gainwell's to his left, and we have 3 receivers to the far side. McKee takes a snap, hands it off to Gainwell. Gainwell's going to pick up about 3 there. So it is going to bring up 4th down. We've got about a minute left in the first quarter of this game. So we'll probably see the field goal unit on here if I were a guessing man. Ball's at the Giants' 36-yard line. No, they're going to go for it. 4th and 3. McKee's in the gun. Gainwell to his right. He's making a couple of adjustments. 3 receivers to the far side. McKee takes the snap. Back, looking. And he's going to get thrown and caught, and that is going to be a 1st down. Dallas Goedert down to the near side pass. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 from the Giants' 27-yard line. He was brought down by Davad Wilson. Or Davad Wilson. I apologize about the pronunciation there, but it is 1st down, and they're going to try. They might get a playoff before the first quarter. Nope, nope. Officials are blowing that dead. 15 minutes of the way through this game, the Eagles are on top and knocking at the doorstep again. It is 7-0 after the first quarter in favor of the Eagles. So again, just some quick checks around the league right now while we're in the commercial break. Again, the most important game for the Eagles right now, the 2 most important games for the Eagles are the games that are going to determine who gets to the number 6 and number 7 seed. So right now, the team that gets to the number 6 seed the Washington Commanders right now have the number 6 seed. They clinched the number 6 seed with a win today. They need to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Right now, they're not doing that. So it is 3-0 in favor of the Dallas Cowboys with about 2.5 minutes left to play in the first quarter of that game. Now, obviously, there's plenty of football left to go in that game. The Commanders also clinch with a Green Bay Packers loss. And right now, the Green Bay Packers are losing 7-3 to Chicago. So it is 7-3 with about 2:24 left in the first quarter of that game. So, again, if the Commanders right now have the number 6 seed, if they win or if Green Bay loses, the Commanders clinch the number 6 seed. Green Bay, in order to move up to the number 6 seed, needs both a win and a Commanders loss. So that is that's the big variable that impacts the Eagles. The other games that are going on right now determine the winner of the NFC South. It is Atlanta versus Carolina. Atlanta is tied with the Panthers 3-3. So the Falcons are tied with about 63 seconds left in the first quarter of that game. Also tied is the Tampa Bay New Orleans game. Tampa Bay wins or Atlanta loses, and Tampa Bay wins the NFC South. Atlanta needs both a win and a Buccaneers loss to clinch the NFC South because they hold the tiebreaker. It's tied over in Tampa Bay versus the New Orleans Saints, 3-all, 15. That's at the start of the second quarter. Later on tonight is the final game, game 272. It is the Lions versus the Vikings. That'll determine the number 1 seed overall. McKee is in the gun, back to his right. McKee takes the snap, and he's going to throw, and that is going to be incomplete. Overthrew Kenny Gainwell on the far side. Will bring up 2nd and 10. So yeah, the last variable in the NFC is the who's going to be the number 1 seed and who's going to be the number 5 seed. So we have McKee in the gun. We have a back to his left. Slot to the near side. McKee takes the snap, back, looking, throwing, and that's going to be caught right around the 22-yard line. And that is, I believe that was Johnny Wilson on that. Yes, that was Johnny Wilson. It's a 6-yard pickup, brings up 3rd and 4 for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Giants' 21-yard line is where they're going to spot him. So now McKee's going to line everybody up. It's an empty backfield. 3 receivers right. McKee takes a snap, rolling to his right, throws, and that is going to be off the hands of Dallas Goedert and incomplete. So that will bring up 4th down, and we'll see if the Eagles decide to go for it here or if they decide to send the field goal unit on. Yeah, that was off of Dallas Goedert's hands. And that's why you play him in a game like this where it doesn't mean anything, because this way it kind of gets him back into the groove. Whereas if this game meant something, that's a much bigger drop. But here we go. We have Jake Elliott on to attempt a 39-yard field goal. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is wide left. Wide left and no good. So the Giants will take over at their own 29-yard line. And for Jake Elliott, some of the concerns from earlier this season are starting to surface again a little bit. He was really good last week. He did kickoffs last week too. He was really good last week. He's unfortunately had an up and down season. So not been quite as reliable as he has been in seasons past. 14:06 left to play in the first half of this game. Giants are behind 7-0, but will have the ball. So going into this game, the New York Giants have the number 4 overall pick. Cleveland has the number 1 right now. They are 3-14, but that could very easily change. It was actually the New England Patriots that had the number 1 overall pick going into this week. But going into this game, the New York Giants have the number 4 overall pick. depending on how things pan out, they could fall down to number 5 or even worse, depending on the situation. Definitely let me know what your thoughts are about this game. I'd love to hear from you in the chat. And if you're new here, please feel free to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. Missing inside the 30 is actually on brand for Jake Elliott. Okay, we've got Locke under center, and he's going to take the snap. That looked like it could have been like a false start or everything. But it is going to be thrown and caught for a loss of 5 there. That is Devin Singletary on the reception. So it is going to bring up 2nd and 15. Second and 15 for the Giants from their own 24. 13 and a half minutes left. We've got Locke in the gun, back to his left. Locke takes the snap. He's back. He's throwing. That's going to be caught right around the original line of scrimmage. Gets up to the 30-yard line. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 9 situation. And that was Malik Neighbors on the reception. So 13 minutes left in the first half. 3rd and 9. Locke's going to line up in the gun. Back to his right. Malik Neighbors wide out to the near side. Slot to the near side. Locke takes the snap. Back, looking, throwing. That's going to be caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. It's going to be well short of the first down marker. So that will bring up 4th down. And we'll see if the Giants send their punting unit on. And that is exactly what's happening. Jamie Gillen is on to punt this away. Jahan Dotson. And they're going to fake it, and they're going to dump it off, and that is going to be a 1st down. They faked the punt. It was a direct snap to Dane Belton, who ran 10 yards and picked up the 1st down. Got up to the 46-yard line. So I know it's a divisional game, and I know these divisional games can be challenging, but like I don't know why they're doing some of this stuff. Locke under center takes a snap, hands it off, and that's going to go up to about midfield, maybe picks up a couple more. It's going to bring up 2nd down. That was Eric Gray on the run. So that's going to bring up, that was a 6-yard pickup, gets to 2nd and 4 for the Giants from the Eagles' 48-yard line. 11 minutes left in the first half of this game. Locke in the gun, pistol formation, takes a snap, hands it off, and that's not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard or 2. Brings up 3rd down. So it's 3rd and 2, gets up to the 46-yard line. And that was Tracy on the carry. So here we go. We have Locke in the gun. We have a back now lining up to his right. 3 receivers to the right. Locke takes the snap, hands it off, and that is going to only pick up a yard. It's only a yard. It gets up to the 45-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th and 1. .940, 9:39, 38, 37, 36, 35 left in the first half of this game. Locke under center, back deep in the backfield, man in motion to the near side. Locke takes the snap, and that's going to be handed off, and that is a first down pickup. So that is going to bring up a 1st and 10 for the Giants from the Eagles' 42. And we have 9 minutes left in the first half here. Locke under center, back deep in the backfield. Man in motion. Locke takes the snap, back, hands it off, and that's going to pick up a bunch there. Looks like that was a 4-yard pickup by Devin Singletary. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 6 from the Eagles' 38-yard line. So now we have Locke under center, back in the backfield. Locke takes the snap, hands it off, up the middle, picks up 2. That's where he's going to get stopped. That's Devin Singletary again up to the 36-yard line. And we are at the 8-minute mark of the first half. It's going to bring up 3rd and 4 for the Giants from the Eagles' 36. Locke under center, back in the backfield, 3 receivers left. Man goes in motion to the far side. Locke takes the snap, hands it off, and that is going to get tripped up right around the 35-yard line, 34-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th and 2. That was Devin Singletary again, brought down by Jordan Davis, tripped up right at the line. Only gets 2 out of it. So it is 4th and 2, and the Giants look like they're going to go for it. So we have Locke now in the gun, back to his left, 4th down. Slot to the far side. Locke takes the snap, back, looking, has some time, throwing deep, has a man, incomplete. He was looking for Malik Neighbors, and it was a double cover, wound up being broken up by Sidney Brown on that pass, and otherwise that's a touchdown. So it is an incomplete pass. Isaiah Rodgers and Sidney Brown there. It actually was off of Isaiah Rodgers' helmet. So it is going to be a turnover on downs for the Giants. The Eagles will take over at their own 34. 6:51 left to play in the first half of the game. Quick check around the league. Carolina is right now leading over the Atlanta Falcons. It is 10-3. The Dallas Cowboys are currently leading against the Washington Commanders 6-0. All these games are in the second quarter. Chicago is currently leading the Green Bay Packers 14-3. Jacksonville is currently leading the Indianapolis. The Indianapolis Colts just scored. It is 13-10 over there. The New England Patriots are currently leading the Buffalo Bills 14-7. The New Orleans Saints are currently leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 6-3, and the Houston Texans are currently shutting out the Tennessee Titans 13-0. Tanner McKee so far this game, 8 for 12 for 98 yards, 1 touchdown, has a passer rating of 119.4. Leading receiver is Dallas Goedert, 4 catches on 6 targets for 55 yards. His longest catch was a 17-yarder, so that's Dallas Goedert there. Jahan Dotson right behind him, 2 for 2. 2 targets, 2 catches, 22 yards. Ainias Smith, 1 catch on 1 target for 15 yards. So that's kind of the thing there. Kenny Gainwell, 5 carries for 13 yards. So, Happy New Year to all of you. If you are joining here, again, hope you had a great holiday season, a great New Year. We are going to be broadcasting the Eagles game next week. So we'll be live for the Eagles game next week. So definitely feel free to tune in for that. Pistol formation for Tanner McKee, who has a high snap, and it's going to go well over his head. He's going to lose a bunch there. That was a bad snap for Tanner McKee. Bad snap by the center. It was Nick Gates. Cam Jurgens being rested right now. So Nick Gates was the center there, and that was that snap looked like it was going back through the uprights. 2nd and 24 now after that monstrosity. McKee in the gun, back to his right, takes a snap, throws, caught right up to the 30-yard line. Goes Johnny Wilson. So with 6 minutes left to play in the first half of this game, Eagles are in a 3rd and 15 situation. So it's a little more manageable, but still a 2-stick situation. 3rd down, 2 sticks for the Eagles. Ball's at their own 30. Eagles are 0 for 3 on 3rd downs today. McKee is in the gun. Has Will Shipley line up to his right. Man in motion, that would be Calcaterra. McKee takes the snap. He's back looking, throwing, and that is going to be caught for a 1st down. Goes Jahan Dotson. Gets up to the 49-yard line of the Eagles. So that is going to be 1st and 10. And the Eagles keep this drive alive. .5:06 left in the first half of this game. McKee in the gun. Shipley to his right. Now Shipley lines up to his left. McKee making a couple of changes here. McKee takes the snap. He's back. He's looking. He's going to roll to his right. He's going to throw, and that is going to be caught by Grant Calcaterra. A couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. Brings up 2nd and 3 for the Eagles. They're showing the touchdown that put Carolina up 10-0 or 10-3, and that was Bryce Young kind of scramble. McKee in the gun, back to his right. McKee takes a snap, hands it off to Shipley. Shipley is going to fight for the 1st down. Goes up the middle, gets up to the 40-yard line, and that is going to be a 1st and 10 for the Eagles from the Giants' 40. We're at about 4:05, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 minutes left in the first half. Eagles have the ball. So it is pistol formation now for the Eagles. McKee's in the gun. We've got Shipley behind him. Slot to the near side. McKee takes the snap, and this play is being blown dead. The Eagles are taking a timeout here, so that is their first of the half. So clock has stopped with 3:47-ish left in the first half here, and the Eagles are on top, 7-0. Okay, so just checking in here. So The Dallas Cowboys are defeating the Washington Commanders 6-0. The Commanders need a win or a Packers loss to clinch the number 6 seed. The Packers are losing to the Chicago Bears 14-3. So right now, if these games ended right now, the Eagles' opponent would be the Green Bay Packers. The Commanders do hold the tiebreaker, so the Packers need both the win and the Commanders' loss to flip things. In the race for the NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are losing to the New Orleans Saints 6-3. The Carolina Panthers are defeating right now the Atlanta Falcons 10-3. Both of those games in the second quarter. Atlanta needs both a win and a Tampa Bay loss. So if because Atlanta holds the tiebreaker, so they need a win and a Tampa Bay loss to get that even, and then Atlanta would clinch the NFC South. But right now it does not look that way because Atlanta has to win. So if the games ended where they are right now, Atlanta would be out of the playoffs. Not a whole lot of other games going on that have significant meaning for really anything going on right now. The battle for the last playoff spot in the AFC will resume later on today. Denver is playing Kansas City, and former Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz will be starting that game for the Chiefs. Denver wins, they're in. If Denver loses, they're out. If Denver loses, they're out. If Denver loses, Miami has to win. If Miami loses, the Bengals are in. So that's your AFC playoff picture there. But again, the more important thing for the Eagles right now is who is on top, or who's winning among the Commanders and the Packers in their respective games. McKee in the gun takes the snap, back looking, throws, incomplete. I was looking for Johnny Wilson, could not connect with him, so that is going to bring up a 2nd and 10 situation. Ball's on the Giants 40. So now we have McKee in the gun, Shipley to his right. McKee takes the snap, back, looking, pressure's coming. McKee's going to throw. He has Will Shipley, has a first down. There is a flag on this play, so we will check that. Depending on the outcome of that flag, this could be coming back. That was thrown at the line of scrimmage. Ronald Torbert is the referee for today. And it is a free play. It is an offsides penalty against the New York Giants. So the Eagles decline that penalty. They will take the result of the play, which was a 13-yard pickup to Will Shipley for the first down. So pistol formation for the Eagles. McKee in the gun. McKee takes the snap, hands it off to Shipley. Shipley's going to bounce out to the left side and is going to pick up 2. Brings up 2nd and 8 for the Eagles from the Giants' 24-yard line. We are approaching the 3-minute mark of the first half of this game. So Tanner McKee lines up in the gun. We have Will Shipley to his left. Slot to the near side. McKee takes a snap, fakes to Shipley, pressure coming, throws to Shipley, gets that off, and Shipley's going to turn, gets to the 15, down to about the 11-yard line is where he's stopped down. Big first down pickup for Shipley there and the Eagles. So a play that looked like it was going to end in disaster McKee finds Shipley quickly. Free guy coming through the line, and McKee dumps it off, and Shipley is able to take what looked like it was going to be a loss there, turn it into a first down pickup. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Eagles from the Giants' 11-yard line. And we are at the 2-minute warning. So the Eagles are on top right now, 7-0 in their favor. So again, the important games right now, just some status updates on those. It is the Dallas Cowboys ahead of the Washington Commanders, 6-0. The Green Bay Packers right now losing to the Chicago Bears, 14-3 or 14-9. Now I apologize. The Packers actually scored. Looks like they just scored a touchdown. It was on a Josh Jacobs run up the middle. So they just scored a touchdown. So that is 14-9 pending the outcome of the extra point. That actually just came through. It is good. It is 14-10. Packers still losing. So that's the important game for the Eagles right now. In terms of the NFC playoff picture, that's the one that matters because that will determine who is the 7 seed. The Eagles will play the 7 seed. So the Eagles will play. Right now, it's looking like the Packers. The Packers have to win and need a Commanders loss. So right now, the Commanders are losing, but the Packers are also losing. So not great right now for the Packers if they want to. They don't want to play the Eagles. In the race for the NFC South, it is Carolina 10, Atlanta 9. Atlanta just scored a touchdown. Michael Penix scrambled for 5 yards. So that game is 10-9 pending the outcome of the extra point there. We'll probably see that turn 10-10 in a moment. The New Orleans Saints are leading the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 13-3. So that is where things stand there. Tampa Bay needs a win or a Falcons loss to clinch the NFC South. So that's that portion there. Again, Atlanta just tied it up, so it is 10-all over there. The last variable in the NFC playoff picture is the NFC North champion. That game will be determined in Sunday Night Football. So it is Lions-Vikings, one of the most anticipated games. The Detroit Lions are playing the Minnesota Vikings. Win, and you're the NFC North champion and the number 1 overall seed. Lose, and you're the first 14-win wildcard team. We're back from the 2-minute warning. Pistol formation for the Eagles. McKee takes a snap, fakes to Will Shipley. He's going to roll to his right. Throws, caught, no, incomplete. Looking for Grant Calcaterra. It was just kind of in and out of his hands. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Eagles from the 11. So 1:55 left in the first half. McKee in the gun. Back to his right. McKee takes a snap, hands it off to Shipley. Shipley is going to get stopped at the line. Maybe picks up a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9 for the Eagles from the Giants' 10. And the Giants have taken their first time out of the half, so they have 2 remaining. Third and 9 for the Eagles. So it is, even though the ball's at the 10, it is technically possible for the Eagles to get a first down without scoring. They just need to get the ball to the 1 for that to occur. McKee's in the gun. We have an empty backfield. 3 receivers left. McKee takes a high snap, back looking, throws, that is caught out of bounds just shy of the 6-yard line is Will Shipley. It is a 4th down and 5 situation. So, again, we'll probably, at this point, we'll see Jake Elliott come on to do a chip shot. Field goal here, so. Shipley run out of bounds by Jason Pinnock. And so Jake Elliott is on to attempt the field goal. He missed a 39-yarder earlier in this game. This is going to be a much shorter kick. 24 yards, snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. With 1:44 left to play in the first half of this game, the Eagles extend their lead. It is the Eagles 10, the Giants nothing. So, again, the Eagles' backups right now are doing a really good job against the Giants' starters, which is definitely saying something. I don't know about whom it's saying for. It could be saying more about the Giants than about the Eagles there. Kenny Gainwell, 5 carries for 13 yards. Will Shipley, 3 for 8. This is one of those situations where, like, again, we're going back, we're thinking about the debate that was occurring over the course of this week, and one of the biggest things to bear in mind is that it's not just whether or not Saquon Barkley starts. Saquon wants to get the rushing record. You also have to start the offensive line, and that becomes a question of, okay, now we've got too many people who are going for that. Too many people who are going to matter later on. It could be injury prone. And then you also factor in the fact that, okay, like, if you start these backup offensive linemen, now you have, you got Kenny Gainwell, who's got 13 rushing yards, Will Shipley 8 rushing yards. So Tanner McKee has a carry, but didn't get anything on it. So far through the first half, you've got 21 rushing yards. It is entirely possible for the Eagles to go ahead and clinch, or would have been possible for that to occur, where the Eagles could have gotten Saquon the number 1, the rushing single season rushing record, but definitely not likely here. The Eagles are sending Jake Elliott on to do the kickoff. And that is going to sail through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Giants will take over at their own 30. Tanner McKee right now, 14 for 20 for 163 yards, 1 touchdown, passer rating of 111. Drew Lock, 7 for 10 for 25 yards in the passing game. Lock is in the gun. We have a back to his left. Lock takes a snap. He's going to hand it off and stiff arms and gets up to about the 33-yard line. Goes Tyrone Tracy. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 7 for the Giants. Brought down by Tristan McCullum and Jeremiah Trotter. So, bad snap, and Lock is a completely unaware. He's lucky to recover that one. Gets up to right about the 32, so it's going to be a loss of 1. So that was a disastrous kind of situation there for the Giants. 60 seconds left in the first half. Locke in the gun, back to his left. Locke takes a snap, back, looking. Locke throws, caught by Tracy, gets up to the 35, gets up to the 37 before he's brought down. So that's going to bring up 4th and 3 for the Giants. And right now it looks like the offense is staying out on the field. So the Giants right now are 2 for 4 on 4th down conversions. $50 seconds left in the first half here. The Eagles took a timeout. That's why we have the stoppage. So 50 seconds left, and now the Giants are sending the punt unit on, but you got to make sure they actually punt it this time. Jahan Dotson back to return it. Giants break the huddle quickly. And the kick is away. Jahan Dotson fair catches at the 27-yard line. So 43 seconds left in the first half. Tanner McKee is going to come out, see what they decide to do. They might run one play before kneeling it into halftime. We'll see what they decide. Effectively, this is a preseason game. Given as many of the starters as much rest as possible. The most notable starter we saw today has been Dallas Goedert. 4 catches on 6 targets. So McKee is in the gun. We have a back to his right. Man going in motion. McKee takes a snap. Back. Looking. Throwing. And that is going to be caught for a first down. And that is Jahan Dotson on that reception. So he does get out of bounds. 39 seconds left in the first half of this game. Does stop that clock. It is 1st and 10 for the Eagles from their own 39-yard line. So the Eagles might be trying to see whether or not, might be doing a little bit of like a 2-minute drill. See if they can get these guys doing a 2-minute drill here. McKee's in the gun. Shipley to his right. Ainias Smith in motion to the near side. McKee takes the snap. He's back. He's throwing down the near side is Will Shipley. That is a catch. Gets out of bounds just shy of the 45-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and 5 from the Eagles' 44. "34 seconds left in the first half of this game. And now it looks like there's an equipment issue here. Simmons is going to have to go off to the sidelines for the Giants. That will cause them to spend their second charge timeout of the half. Isaiah Simmons looks like had the sole of his right cleat separate from the top portion of the shoe. So they're going to either tape that back up or get him a new cleat or something to that effect. But that will cause them to spend a timeout here to slow things down while he gets that adjusted. So it is 2nd and 5. McKee's in the gun, back to his right. McKee takes a snap, throws, and that is going to be caught by Jahan Dotson. And that's going to get down into Giants territory, gets down to about the 46, 45-yard line, depending on where they spot it. He does not get inbound, so that will cause the clock to wind, and the Eagles have to spend their final timeout of the half to stop it. So 25 seconds left in the first half of this game is where the Eagles will stop this clock here, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Giants' 45. In the games that matter for the Eagles, it is 6-3 in favor of the Cowboys, so Washington is losing 6-3. It is 14-10 in favor of the Bears, so the Green Bay is losing 14-10. McKee's in the gun, back to his right. McKee takes the snap, back, looking, throwing, and that is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jahan Dotson, could not connect, overthrew him a little bit there. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Eagles from the Giants' 45. Clock is stopped with 20 seconds. Eagles will get the second half kickoff. So they're trying to get they're trying to get some points on the board before halftime here. Isaiah Simmons back in the game after the equipment issue. McKee's in the gun. We have an empty backfield. It's 2nd and 10. Ball's at the 45. McKee takes a snap. Back looking. Throws incomplete. Looking for Ainias Smith. Could not connect. That was off of his right hand. Clock is now stopped at 17 seconds. It's going to be 3rd and 10. So, McKee is in the gun. Shipley to his left. 3 receivers right. McKee takes a snap. Back, looking. Throwing down the near sideline and nearly picked off. Looking for Jahan Dotson. It was nearly picked off by Dane Belton. And we've got 13 seconds left in the half. It's going to be 4th and 10 at the 45. That's where this drive will stall out, I'm sure. So this kind of sputters here. We'll see if Jake Elliott, they're not going to send him out even at all. Braden Mann's on to punt this. Then you have Amir Smith-Marset back to return it. First time the Eagles have had to punt this game. And that's going to take initially a Giants bounce. It's going to settle at the 12-yard line. So downed by Jalix Hunt. But doesn't matter because we are at halftime. So the score at the half, the Philadelphia Eagles 10, the New York Giants nothing. So that's where things stand here in that part of this. Again, we'll do a quick check here. Eagles are the first game of the 1 o'clock block to go into halftime. So we do have other games that are active right now. So just taking a quick check around the league. So I've done my best to give you updates on all the games that matter, but a quick check around the league. So we have Carolina on top of the Falcons 17-10, Dallas on top of the Commanders 6-3, Chicago on top of the Green Bay Packers 14-10, Jacksonville losing to Indianapolis 13 to 17. So Indianapolis is on top there, 17 to 13. New England on top of the Buffalo Bills, 14 to 10. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers losing to the New Orleans Saints, 13 to 6. And the Houston Texans are on top of the Tennessee Titans, 13 to 3. So those are the games that are going on right now. Again, just a quick reminder of the games that matter to the Eagles and to the NFC playoff picture or a bit more generally. So the last playoff spot that is up in the air is the winner of the NFC South. Somebody has to win the NFC South. So the Atlanta Falcons hold a tiebreaker over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are currently in that top spot in the NFC South. So what needs to happen for Tampa Bay, they win, they're in. End of discussion. If they lose, they need Atlanta to lose as well. So if the Buccaneers lose, the Falcons also have to lose if Tampa Bay wants to get in. For the Falcons, they need to win, and they need a loss by Tampa Bay. So that's something to be mindful of there. More directly to the Eagles is the question of who's going to be the number 6 or the number 7 seed. So the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Washington Commanders. The Chicago Bears are playing the Green Bay Packers. Right now, the Green Bay Packers have the number 7 overall seed. So they have the number 7 seed in the NFC. So the Green Bay Packers need to win, and they need Washington to lose in order to get that number 6 seed. So, or if either the Commanders win or the Packers lose, then the Philadelphia Eagles will be playing the Green Bay Packers next week. Otherwise, the Eagles will be playing the Washington Commanders. So that's the game that's most relevant. The game that's going to happen later on tonight, it's game 272. That is the Minnesota Vikings playing the Detroit Lions. If the Lions win, or realistically speaking, the winner of that game is the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. That carries with the home field advantage, carries the first round bye. That team will win the NFC North. The loser of that game will make NFL history, because the loser of that game will be the first 14-win number 5 seed, the first 14-win wild card team. So, definitely a little bit crazy of a game there. Lots of stakes on the line tonight for the teams there. Let's talk about this game that's currently going on. The Eagles versus the Giants, still in halftime here. Tanner McKee definitely has a little bit less impressive of a game than he had last week. Last week it was 3 for 5. Last week he went 3 for 5, and 2 of those 3 completions were touchdowns. This week, not quite as good. He is 17 for 26 for 190 yards. Does have the only touchdown of the day. Passer rating of 99.8. Kenny Gainwell is the leading runner. Again, Saquon Barkley did not even suit up for this game. So Kenny Gainwell, 5 carries, 13 yards. Will Shipley, I like what I'm seeing out of him, 3 carries for 8 yards. Will Shipley is also 4 for 4 in the receiving game. He has 4 catches on 4 targets for 35 yards. So, good stuff there in that regard. So those are the big things. The most notable starter we've seen today has been Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert, 4 catches on 6 targets for 55 yards so far today. Jahan Dotson is the current leading receiver. He has 5 catches on 7 targets for 63 yards. The only touchdown of the day belongs to Ainias Smith. He had a pretty good touchdown reception there in that first quarter to get the scoring started for the Eagles. So, Eagles offense, again, not really a ton to be concerned about because you do have backups playing for the most part here. But the Eagles' offense has been doing pretty well, and that's also reflective in the team stats. 13 first downs compared to the Giants' 4. Definitely some areas of concern in terms of third down conversions. Eagles are 1 for 6 in that department, which is not a good look. So that's something to be mindful of in that regard. But again, kind of to be expected too, because they're backups. Conversely, the Eagles have 211 total net offensive yards, which is insane when you compare that, especially when you compare that to the Giants, who have 84. So, yeah, definitely not a good look for the Giants right now, getting run all over by the Eagles' backups. Eagles have only had to punt the ball one time. That was actually a meaningless punt that closed out the second half because the first half, because the Eagles will get the ball to start the third quarter in just a few minutes. The Eagles have the areas where the Giants are doing better right now than the Eagles are the time of possession. The Giants have generally held the ball a little bit longer and have been more reliant on the run game than the Eagles have been so far today, which is definitely something, that's reflective of a number of things. Definitely it's reflective of Saquon Barkley being out of this game. But it's also reflective of, just how, reflective of getting Tanner McKee comfortable back in the pocket. I anticipate that McKee might have a good shot at that second, at that second string quarterback spot, maybe in a year or two. He could wind up becoming somebody else's starter. So, something to be aware of in that regard. But the Eagles' defense has been doing a good job, obviously keeping the Giants holding the Giants to 0 points through the first half is a big thing. Not something easily understated. Excuse me. Drew Lock, 8 for 11 for 30 yards in the passing game, but a whole lot of nothing else really in that regard. Again, more heavy reliance for the Giants on the run game. We have, Tracy. It's Tyrone Tracy, 20 yards on 8 carries. Devin Singletary, 18 yards on 6 carries. The numbers here are, they're reflective of that. They're reflective of a more heavy run game reliance. Dane Belton, 10 yards on 1 carry. Dane Belton's a safety, and they've got him in there, trying some runs. Eric Gray has 6 carries. So yeah, there's been some good showings. Been calling Jeremiah Trotter's name a lot. Seeing him light up the board quite a bit for the Eagles defense. So Trotter has combined 7 tackles so far this game. Oren Burks right behind him, 6 tackles combined. Jordan Davis, a notable defensive starter, has 4 combined tackles. The Eagles are doing a good job. Again, I do like seeing the fact that we're calling some of these younger guys' names, some of these newer guys' names a lot more. We even have a couple of Bryce Huff sightings. 2 combined tackles. So, yeah, just Yeah, some good stuff there. Um, yeah, more recently, um, the areas where I'm looking at that I'm seeing some concerns are really in the domain of uh, Tanner McKee and his pocket presence and maybe some of those connections. We had the bad snap that cost the Eagles 14 yards on that one play. Um, didn't look good. Fortunately, the Eagles were able to recover from that. Um, but yeah, realistically speaking, there was definitely some of that concern going into all this. The Eagles had the Frisbee Dogs out on the out at halftime for the fans at Lincoln Financial Field. But yeah, McKee has been doing a decent enough job. Just some of his throws have been off target. Um, so you have that stuff there. A lot of his completions have been, a lot of his incompletions have been more in terms of the throw being off target as opposed to just having to do that. But there have been quite a number of um, passes that have been in receivers' hands that he needs to be able to catch. So coming back from halftime right now, Eagles getting ready to get things going here. Doing some quick checks around the league. The only active game right now, the only active game not in is Atlanta. It's tied over there, Atlanta, Carolina, with 12 seconds left in the first half. So that game's about to be in halftime. The Eagles will get the ball to start this third quarter here, so the Giants will be getting set up to kick this away. And that is going to get kicked and fielded at the 5. Gets brought out to the 10, 20, up to the 30, up to the 35, 40, 45, 50, up to the Giants' 45-yard line. Goes Isaiah Rodgers on that reception. That is going to be officially marked out of bounds at the 43. It's a 51-yard kickoff return for the Eagles. Definitely one of the bigger ones there for the Eagles. He was finally pushed out of bounds by Devad Wilson, so the Eagles will get the ball with exceptional field position to start this second half. Now we have McKee under center. We have a back deep in the backfield. That would be Shipley. McKee, slot to the near side, takes the snap, hands it off, and is going to get up to about the 39-yard line, goes Will Shipley. So that's going to be a pickup of about, they're actually going to say only up to the 40, so it's a pickup of 3. It's second and 7. Eagles wearing their all-black uniforms. McKee in the gun, pistol formation, takes the snap, hands it off to Shipley. Shipley is going to pick up another 3 yards there. Going to bring up 3rd and 4 for the Eagles. Gets up to the 37-yard line of the Giants. McKee's in the gun. We've got Shipley now to his left. 3 receivers left. McKee takes the snap, hands it off to Shipley. Shipley is going to get stuffed at the line of scrimmage. That goes nowhere. Maybe picks up 2. Yeah, they're going to credit them up to the 35-yard line. So it is 4th and 2 for the Giants. Or, I'm sorry, for the Eagles at the Giants 35. And you're going to leave the offense out. So McKee's in the gun, back to his left. McKee takes the snap, back looking, throwing, and nearly picked off. It's going to be a turnover on downs. He was looking for Ainias Smith, who was in double coverage. And there have been a couple of those kinds of throws with Tanner McKee, where it's been bad throws that have been very nearly picked off. Yeah, Devod Wilson was there and almost took that one. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Giants now from their own 35. Giants right now are just playing to not tarnish their draft position. So the Eagles start with a 3 and out, which is not good. Not a good look for them. Atlanta is now ahead of the Carolina Panthers 24-17. That game just entered halftime. So now I'm curious as to what happened. Okay, yeah, it looks like that game was just kind of like a crazy game going into halftime. So we will take a quick peek at the playoff picture for how things are set. So this is what the NFC playoff picture looks like right now. Again, the last playoff spot to be determined is the winner of the NFC South here. That's why Atlanta is still it's not grayed out yet, because that's the only way that they can get in. So Giants 1st and 10 on their own 35. Lock under center, back in the backfield. Lock takes a snap, back looking, pressure coming. Lock's going to throw. It is behind the line of scrimmage, picked up about 2 or 3 there on that reception. Bryce Huff was steps away from getting to Drew Lock. But that is going to bring up a 2nd down. And 6 from the Giants' 39 got to Wan'Dale Robinson was on the reception. So, 2nd and 6, Lock under center, back deep in the backfield. Lock takes a snap, pitches to the back, and that's going to get the 1st down and gets a bunch more. Gets up to the 50, gets up to the 45-yard line. He's like running backwards there. Eagles having trouble bringing him down. That was Tyrone Tracy. It's a 16-yard pickup brought down, credited to Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and Tristan McCullum. But Tracy just does a really good job of moving this pile here. And at a certain point, like, some of it was being helped. Like, that they were, at a certain point, they were, like, helping him stay up, which was not good. So, 1st and 10, ball's up the Eagles' 45-yard line. Lock under center takes a snap, pitches to Tracy. And that's going to get inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard pickup. It's going to bring up 2nd and 3. So Locke is in the gun. Tracy to his left. Locke takes the snap. Does a quick throw over. Caught. Malik Neighbors picks up the first down. Gets down to about the 33-yard line. They're only going to credit him to the 34. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Giants from the Eagles' 34-yard line. Inside of 11 minutes left to play in the third quarter here. Locke under center. Tracy deep in the backfield. Slot to the near side, it looks like. Takes a snap, hands it off, and that's going to be getting up to about the 30-yard line before he's forced out of bounds by Kelly Ringo. So, kind of up the left side, and then Kelly Ringo was like, nope, and so he was running down the 30-yard line until he got out of bounds. So it will be 1st and 10 for the Giants. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Giants from the Eagles 34, or from the Eagles 30. Locke under center, back deep in the backfield. Locke takes the snap, fakes the handoff, back looking, throws, caught. That's going to be a first down, and a bunch more. Gets down inside the 20 to the 15-yard line, and that is Chris Manhertz on that reception. It's a 16-yard pickup. It brings up 1st and 10 for the Giants. They're going to say that he was out of bounds at the 14-yard line. So, pushed out of bounds by Tristan McCullum, as well as by Oren Burks. So, pistol formation for the Giants. Slot to the far side. Man in motion. Locke takes a snap, does a quick pitch it back, and that's going to be Wan'Dale Robinson. Gets up to the line and is going to pick up about 3 or 4 there. They're going to say 4 yards, 1st and 10, or 2nd and 6 from the 10-yard line. So we got 8 minutes, 35 seconds left to play in the third quarter here. Giants 2nd and 6 from the Eagles 10. Locke in the gun, back to his right. Man going in motion to the far side. Locke takes a snap, and that's going to be a pitch forward, and it is an incomplete pass. It was technically a forward pass, so it is an incomplete pass. It's going to bring up 3rd and 6. So what these little like pitch things are like the receiver's going in motion, and while the receiver's in motion, Locke is taking the snap, and he's just pushing the ball forward to the receiver who's going in motion. So in this case, it was Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors couldn't hold on to it when they were doing that. So because it's forward, it's an incomplete pass, and that kills the play. So Locke in the gun, back to his left. 3 receivers right. Man in motion. Locke takes the snap, back looking, throws, caught, but it is short of the first down marker, and that is Malik Neighbors on that. It gets up to the 7-yard line of the Eagles, so it is 4th and 3. And if I'm the Giants and I don't want to be shut out of this game, I'm sending on Graham Gano to do a field goal here. We'll see what's actually happening here. Malik Neighbors running off to the sideline. Yeah, they're going to send on the kicking unit. It's a 25-yard attempt. Snap, hold, kick is up. And it is good. With 7:34 left to play in the third quarter of this game, it is no longer a shutout. The Eagles hold the Giants to a field goal. It is the Eagles 10, the Giants 3. So, a quick check of scores around the league right now. Again, the games that matter. The Green Bay Packers right now losing to the Chicago Bears. It is 14-13 in favor of Chicago. That game is just coming out of halftime right now. So that's that. The Dallas Cowboys are defeating right now the Washington Commanders. It is 6-3. I wonder if there has been a touchdown scored in that game. There has not. It's been 3 field goals. Elsewhere around the league, again, the game that matters for the NFC South, Tampa Bay is losing to the New Orleans Saints 16-6. Atlanta is leading the Carolina Panthers 24-17. That second game, that Atlanta game, is in halftime right now. It is 16-3 over in Tennessee in favor of the Houston Texans. And it is 20-13 in Indianapolis in favor of the Indianapolis Colts over the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I believe I've hit... and it's 14-10 in favor of New England. New England leading Buffalo. So, one interesting thing to note here. Since 2000, any Eagles team that has had, and excluding this year, any Eagles team that has 13 wins going into the postseason has reached the Super Bowl at least. So, Eagles seem poised to make a good playoff run. And I mentioned this in the opener to this game, but we definitely feel a lot better about this particular Eagles team than we do about last year at this exact same time. Because when you think about it, the Eagles were doing a really good job in the early part of the season, and then they lost 6 out of their last 7 to lose the game, or to end the season. Including to our postseason nemesis, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in the wild card round. This game is being it's kicked off, get fielded, and it's going to get brought out to about the 29-yard line. So, going to bring up 1st and 10, 7:26 left to play in the third quarter of this game. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Ball's on their own 29-yard line. The 24-yard return by Isaiah Rodgers. McKee in the gun, back to his left. Jahan Dotson in motion to the near side. McKee takes a snap. That's going to get batted at the line and incomplete. So quick throw, batted at the line, incomplete. 7:21 left to play in the third quarter. That was batted by Anthony Johnson Jr. McKee was looking for Jenkins, looking for E.J. Jenkins. So McKee's in the gun, flanked by backs. McKee takes the snap, hands it off to Shipley. Shipley's going to pick up a good chunk there. Going to bring up third down, probably in about 5, depending on where they spot it. Yeah, 3rd and 5 at the Eagles' 34. Eagles are 1 for 7 on 3rd downs today. McKee lines up. Initially, it's an empty backfield, but now he moves Shipley over to his right. 3 receivers left. McKee takes the snap. Back, looking. Pressure coming. McKee's going to get sacked. McKee gets sacked, and that is another 3 and out for the Eagles. And again, like I'm disappointed that the Eagles are going 3 and out right now, and that the Eagles have the Eagles backups are not able to convert on 3rd downs against the Giants right now. But simultaneously, it's Eagles backups. Braden Mann on to punt this, and he gives it a booming punt, going to get fielded at about the 17-yard line, and immediately gets nailed by Kelly Ringo. So that was Amir Smith-Marset on that, but he gets pummeled immediately. That gets fielded at the 16-yard line. So 5:55 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Eagles still on top 10-3. All right. All of our games are back from halftime. The Cowboys extended their lead over the Washington Commanders 9-3. Chicago wasn't able to do anything against the Green Bay Packers on that drive. So 10:50 left in the 3rd quarter. So it is still 14-13 over in Green Bay. Indianapolis is still ahead of the Jacksonville Jaguars, 20-13. Buffalo has taken the lead over the New England Patriots. It is 16-14 over there. The New Orleans Saints are ahead of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 16-13. The Houston Texans are ahead of the Tennessee Titans, 16-6. And again, the Carolina Panthers are losing to the Atlanta Falcons 24-17, the score over there in favor of Atlanta. So those are your around the league scores. Yeah, let's get that playoff picture up for the. Let's get that NFC playoff picture up again. Yeah, so NFC playoff picture. Pretty straightforward. Again, like Atlanta playing for that last spot there. Tampa Bay currently holds the NFC South. Atlanta needs a win today and a Buccaneers loss for them to clinch that. Buccaneers otherwise would win the NFC South. And again, really just right now, the biggest question mark for the Eagles is seeding here. The Washington Commanders versus the Green Bay Packers. Or Washington Commanders currently have the 6th seed. The Green Bay Packers currently have the 7th seed. Commanders need a win or a Green Bay Packers loss to clinch that 6th seed. Otherwise, if the Packers win and the Commanders lose, the Packers get the 6th seed. Locke under center, takes the snap, back, hands it off to Tracy. Tracy's going to pick up a good chunk there. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 there. Gets about 3 on the run. Five and a half minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter of this game. Locke is going to be in the gun. We've got Tracy to his right. 3 receivers right. Locke takes a high snap, and is going to throw behind the line of scrimmage. It is going to be caught by Wan'Dale Robinson, but that's not going to get anywhere. They're going to lose a yard, or they're going to lose a bunch of yards on that, actually. It's going to be 3rd and 11, so we're at a 3rd down and 2 sticks situation for the Giants. Malik Neighbors and Brock Bowers currently tied at 108 receptions for the most receptions in a rookie. Lock in the gun, back to his right. 3 receivers left. Lock takes the snap. Back, looking, throws across the middle, caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. It's going to be short of the 20-yard line, so it's going to bring up a 4th down and 5 from the 19. Oren Burks credited with the stop. So that will send the punting unit on. Jahan Dotson back to return it. Again, need to make sure they actually punt this ball. The Giants did have a fake punt that was successful earlier in this game. But Gillen will punt this away. And Dotson is going to fair catch it at the 38-yard line. So that is where the Eagles will take over. Timeout on the field, 3:47 left to play in the 3rd quarter of this game. Eagles have the ball, still ahead of the Giants, 10-3. Just like broadcasting a preseason game, folks. It's a really cold game. A really cold preseason game for the Eagles right now. Some games to watch in the 4 o'clock block, just to be aware of. So the fight is for, in the 4 o'clock block, is for the last spot in the AFC. So that is a urgent fight for everybody involved. Especially so since Cincinnati defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers last night, 19-17. So because of that, here's the situation. On the AFC side, Denver needs to win. Denver is a win-and-in team. If they lose, they're out. Miami, and Denver, by the way, is playing the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, led by Carson Wentz, because they're doing the same thing the Eagles are doing right now, resting their starters. If Denver loses, the next team up is Miami. Miami has to win, and Denver loses. If that happens, Miami is if that happens, Miami becomes the last team in the AFC to make the playoffs. If both Denver and Miami lose, the Cincinnati Bengals are in the playoffs. So that's your scenario. McKee lining up under center back in the backfield. McKee takes the snap, back looking, throws, caught Calcaterra, gets up to about the 42-yard line, and that is going to bring up a 2nd down and 7 for the Eagles. We got about 3.5 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter of this game. Quick score update. The Washington Commanders have just taken the lead over the Dallas Cowboys. It is 10-9 over there. 5:07 left in the 3rd quarter. Again, if Washington wins, they have the number 6 seed. Otherwise, the Eagles will play, the Eagles will play Green Bay. McKee under center, back in the backfield. McKee takes a snap, back, looking, throws, caught by Jahan Dotson. That is a first down. So that is the Eagles' first down of the second half. Gets up to the 46-yard line. So it's a pretty big pickup there. It's a 12-yard pickup. And that is going to get up to the 46-yard line of the Giants. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles from the Giants' 46. Pistol formation now for the Eagles. McKee in the gun, back behind them. Slot to the near side, now man in motion. McKee takes a high snap, hands it off to Will Shipley. Shipley is going to pick up a good chunk, gets up about 4 there. Going up the middle. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 6. There's a lot of talk about Saquon Barkley this week. Saquon Barkley, 5,211 career rushing yards with the New York Giants over the 4 years he spent with them. This season, he has 2,005 rushing yards with the Eagles, so he's almost halved that number in just one season. McKee in the gun, back to his left. McKee takes another high snap, back looking, throwing, and that is caught, and that is a first down, and that is going to get up to about the 33-yard line, and that was Johnny Wilson. So 1st and 10. We're at about 19, 1, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13 left in the third quarter. McKee in the gun, back to his left. Takes a snap, back, throws across the middle, caught by Jahan Dotson. Gets down inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. So the Eagles knocking on the doorstep again here. Inside of a minute left to play in the third quarter. Pistol formation for the Eagles. Slot to the near side. McKee in the gun, takes a snap, hands it off to Shipley. Shipley's going to get down inside the 10, down to about the 6-yard line of the Eagles, or of the Giants. They're actually only going to credit him up to the 7, so it is 2nd and 3 for the Eagles from the Giants' 7-yard line. It looks like we have an injured Giant on the play here, so hopefully he's okay. Looks like that's going to be Elijah Chapman, one of the defensive tackles. Down on the field being tended to by Giants trainers. Helping him up. Walking him off. They're a little ginger with the arms there, but... They're doing frequent cuts to the sidelines. Again, the Eagles sat 11 players into this game. Didn't even dress them. So, that's something to... because of that, I mean, the Eagles have these guys... Like, they're cutting to the Eagles starters, and it definitely looks like the Eagles starters are just having a grand old time over there on the sideline. A.J. Brown getting excited. Saquon Barkley exchanging words across the field with his former team. And again, it looks like they're just, I mean, even in the cold, they're having a pretty good time. So that's what you like to see out of a team, and certainly winning creates that kind of a culture. The Eagles are just going to let this clock run out. So we're going to go into the fourth quarter here. 15 minutes of play left in this game. The Eagles are up by a touchdown and knocking on the doorstep. It is 10-3 in favor of the Philadelphia Eagles. Quick check of scores around the league here. It's about to be tied up again in Atlanta. It is 24-23 in favor of the Falcons, but the Panthers just scored a touchdown with 10:43 left in the third quarter over there, so they're probably going to even this up on the point after. Washington, 10-9 still. That game, 3:24 left in the third there. Washington is on top of the Cowboys. It is 14-3 in favor of the Bears, or 14-13 in favor of the Bears. My apologies. Over in Green Bay. Green Bay has the ball, 4:08 left in the third quarter of that game. Indianapolis 20, Jacksonville 13 over there in Indianapolis. 4:15 left in the third quarter over there. It is 16-14 in favor of the Buffalo Bills over the New England Patriots. 2:59 left in the third quarter of that game. The New Orleans Saints are on top of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 16-13. 7:29 left in the third quarter over there. And then it is 16-6 over in Tennessee in favor of the Houston Texans, with 1:17 left in the third quarter over there. So the Eagles game, first game to go into the fourth quarter. The game, one of the most anticipated matchups this week, is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Detroit Lions. That game actually would have had some meaning for the Eagles last week if a few things had broken their way. But unfortunately it did not. So that's why the Eagles are resting starters this week, because this Eagles game means absolutely nothing. The game tonight, the Minnesota Vikings versus the Detroit Lions, being played in Detroit, is going to be for all the marbles in the NFC North. It's also going to be for the number 1 seed in the NFC playoff. So that obviously will come with the first round bye, home field advantage, things like that. The loser of that game will become the first ever 14-win wild card team in the NFL. They will have the number 5 seed, so it's a big drop if you lose. We're back. Start of the fourth quarter. McKee under center. Takes a snap. Quick throw to number 84, E.J. Jenkins, and that is an Eagles touchdown right on the corner. Tight end E.J. Jenkins, and the Eagles extend the lead. That was a 7-yard touchdown for the Eagles there. Again, E.J. Jenkins just staying just inside of that pylon there, just enough to make sure that ball was touchdown. And E.J. Jenkins almost launches that ball into the stands, but nope. Jake Elliott on to attempt the point after touchdown. Snap, hold, kick is up. And it is good. 14:55 left in this game. The Philadelphia Eagles have extended the lead. It is the Eagles 17, the Giants 3. Update out of the Washington Commanders Dallas Cowboys game. The Commanders have pulled Jaden Daniels, so that was a looks like that is about a 15-minute old news. So I apologize, I did not get that to you sooner. But Marcus Mariota is now in for the Commanders. He has gone so far 5 for 5 for 60 yards. That was a coach's decision, according to according to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport. So that's that there. So yeah, we're just kind of hanging out right now. And it looks like over in Green Bay, the Packers have taken out Jordan Love and have Malik Willis in. So, I don't know if there's an injury involved in that. Hopefully not. Yes, there was injury involved in Jordan Love being pulled from that game. So Jordan Love is questionable to return. So again, hopefully he's okay. All right, so we are back from the commercial break. Jake Elliott on to kick this away. And that is going to get fielded in the end zone for a touchback. So the Giants will take over at their own 30. Yeah, and that is something to be mindful of, too, if you're looking at, when it comes to the kickoff decisions, right? So Braden Mann does a good job of dropping the kick in that landing zone. He does a decent enough job with that. But he has this increasing potential to get the kick to go out of bounds, which is not great. Lock under center back in the backfield. Lock takes the snap, hands it off, and that's going to pick up 2 for the Giants. Again, the merciful thing for everybody to do right now is just to keep this clock running in this game. 2nd and 7 for the Giants from their own 33. That was Tracy on the run, by the way. So now we have Lock in the gun. We have an empty backfield. We have the slot to the near side. Lock takes the snap back, looking, throws, that is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson, gets up to the 35, up to the 39-yard line before he is brought down by Oren Burks and Jordan Davis. Get the credit there. No, I'm sorry. Not brought down by Jordan Davis. That's a little bit of a leap. He broke a tackle initially and was brought down by Ricks, ultimately. So it is 3rd and 1. Less than 13:45 left in this game. Lock under center. Back in the back, or split backs behind him. Lock takes a snap. He's going to try to QB sneak it. He does get through, and that is going to be a first down. So 1st and 10 now for the Giants from their own 41-yard line. Barney the Dinosaur spotted in the Eagles Lincoln Financial Field stands wearing an Eagles shirt. Lots of founding fathers dressed up. Lots of fans dressed up as founding fathers. All right, so it is 1st and 10 now for the Giants. Ball's on their own 41-yard line. I'm sorry, their own 42. Lock takes a snap, back, looking, throwing, and that is caught. And that's going to be a pickup of 1. Gets up to the 43-yard line. And that was Tracy there on the reception. So they're actually going to credit them up to the 44, so it's going to be 2nd and 8 for the Giants. About 12 minutes left in this game. Lock in the gun, empty backfield. Lock takes a snap. Back, looking, throws, and that is caught, and that is a first down. Wan'Dale Robinson into Eagles territory. Gets up to about the Eagles' 47-yard line. Yep, 47. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Giants from the Eagles' 47. So, Locke under center, back in the backfield. Locke takes the snap, hands it off, and that's going to get a couple there. Gets up to about the 45. It's going to be 2nd and 8 for the Giants. That was Tracy on the run. So we are inside of 11 minutes left to play in this game. We have Locke in the gun, back to his right. Slot to the near side. Locke takes the snap, back, looking. Pressure coming. Locke throws, and that is incomplete. Throw it across the middle, looking for Wan'Dale Robinson. Could not connect. Brings up 3rd and 8 for the Giants. They're shown right now in the game break. There was a fumble recovery over in Houston that was recovered by a Texans lineman for the touchdown. So it was a scoop and score. Locke in the gun, back to his left, takes the snap, back, looking, pressure coming, throws, caught, wide open Malik Neighbors. And he is in for the touchdown. He is in for the touchdown, and the Giants tack on 6 to their score. Some bad coverage. It was wide open there, and then some bad tackling there by Tristan McCullum. They're going to double check. Yeah, he's in bounds the whole way. It's a touchdown. 10:32 left in the game here. Giants have narrowed the score. Graham Gano on for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. I punched the wrong button as I was updating. That's my bad. 10:32 left in the game. Giants have double-digit points. It is 17-10 in favor of the Eagles. Yeah. Yeah, Malik Neighbors was wide open, so you don't like to see that. We got a timeout on the field right now. We'll do some checks around the league. So there are 2 games still in the third quarter. New Orleans just took a 19-13 lead over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That has 2:18 left in the third. And then Carolina and Atlanta are still tied at 24 with 6:13 left in the third. All other games are in the fourth quarter. Just told you about the Houston Texans one, 23-6 right now over there. 13:50 left in the game in that. It is 17-16 in favor of the Patriots. That game just entered the fourth quarter. Buffalo has the ball. But again, 17-16 in favor of the Patriots over the Bills. Indianapolis 20-13. Indianapolis 20, Jacksonville 13. That game just started the fourth quarter. Chicago is on top of the Green Bay Packers 14-13 with 14-13 left in that game. And then the Washington Commanders are on top of the Dallas Cowboys 10-9 with just under 14 minutes left in that game as well. Again, the most important games that are happening during the 1 o'clock time block for the Philadelphia Eagles are the Commanders-Cowboys game. Are the Commanders-Cowboys game and the Bears-Packers game. If the Packers win and the Commanders lose, the Eagles will face the Commanders next week. Otherwise, the Philadelphia Eagles will face the Green Bay Packers next week in the wild card round of the playoffs. So we're coming back, 10:32 left in this game. Giants are going to kick this away. And he gives it the boot. And that is going to get fielded at about the 7. Gets brought out to the 20, up to the 25-yard line. Goes Ainias Smith. So, 1st and 10 for the Eagles from their own 25. So Malik Nabers has just crossed Brock Bowers. 109 receptions, most receptions by a rookie in NFL history. Brock Bowers has 108 receptions. Brock Bowers still has to play later today. He plays in the 4 o'clock block he'll play for the Las Vegas Raiders against the LA Chargers. Chargers have a little bit to play for in that game. I formation for the Eagles. McKee under center, takes the snap, dumps it off to Will Shipley. Shipley is going to barely get back to the line of scrimmage on that. Might even lose a yard depending on how they spot this. They will say 2nd and 10 from the 25. So 10-10 left in this game. So, McKee in the gun, back to his right. McKee takes a snap, throws across the middle, incomplete. Looking for Jahan Dotson, couldn't connect. Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Eagles. $9:47 left to play in this game. Dallas has just taken a 12-10 lead over the Commanders. McKee in the gun, takes a snap, and he's back, and he's going to get sacked. He's going to lose a bunch there, gets knocked back to about the 15-yard line, and that will bring up 4th and 20, and that will send the Eagles punt unit on. So, 4th and 20. Braden Mann on to punt this away. And he gives it the boot. And it's a long line drive there that's going to get fielded inside the 40. It's going to get brought out to the 50, up to the 40. Goes number 87, Ihmir Smith-Marsette. And it was a line drive punt. Like that never left the camera's view. Normally punts will take a huge arc. So, but that kind of didn't have any air in it, so it also tanked the hang time. But it is 1st and 10 now for the Giants from the Eagles' 38-yard line. That's where they're going to pick up. Some quick checks around the league. Again, I just told you the Cowboys have taken a 12-10 lead over the Commanders. 13:53 left in that game. Chicago has extended their lead over the Green Bay Packers. 10:02 left in that game. It is 20-13 in favor of the Bears. It is still tied 24 all over in Atlanta, between the Falcons and the Panthers. The Patriots and the Bills, 17-16 in favor of the Patriots. Um, the Saints still on top of the Buccaneers 19-13. That game just entered the fourth quarter. 23-6 in favor of the Texans, between the Texans and the Titans. I believe I've caught you up on all the games that are happening right now. And one of the biggest controversies going into this game was the decision to not start Saquon Barkley. Saquon will not have the opportunity to go after the single season rushing record. He will finish just 101 yards shy of breaking that record. So, but he'll have an opportunity, and he'll have an opportunity, I'm sure, in the future. The Giants lined up in the gun, and we have a false start here on this. I'm sure it's a false start. They killed this play. They got Joshua Izudu on the false start. They've done stuff like that before in this game, so I kind of am very glad that the officials put a stop to it. 1st and 15 now for the Giants. Ball's on the 43-yard line of the Eagles. Locke under center, takes a snap, dumps it off to Tracy. Tracy's going to pick up a good chunk there. Gets up to about the 35-yard line. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 7 for the Giants. But the biggest thing is that clock keeps moving. 8:20 left in this game. Locke in the gun, back to his left. And now we have a stoppage. And one of the Eagles players jumped. It looks like. Looks like they're going to get Thomas Booker for the neutral zone infraction. But the officials are talking about this. Looks like the officials might be talking about whether or not one of the Giants players moved their head. And they get the Giants for a false start. They got guard Greg Van Roten. And the Giants are not happy about that. But I could tell the second that, the umpire was saying that Greg Van Roten nodded his head, which the Giants have been doing a bunch all day, but this was the first time that it triggered a false start, or that it triggered an Eagles player to jump. So because he moved, that's what triggered the Eagles player to jump off sides. All right, so it's now 2nd and 12. Locke in the gun. We have an empty backfield. 3 receivers left. Locke takes the snap, back, looking, throwing across the middle. It is caught, hit immediately. Wan'Dale Robinson, Avonte Maddox there on that stop. Brings up 3rd down and about 10. Now they're going to say 3rd and 7. They credit him up to the 35. But yeah, Avonte Maddox in there. Locke in the gun, back to his right. Locke takes the snap. Back, looking. Pressure's coming. Locke trying to avoid the pressure. Throws, incomplete. He was looking for Darius Slayton on that. Whole lot of nothing there. So that's going to bring up 4th and 7 from the Eagles' 35. That should send the field goal unit on. And Slayton was out of bounds, so he couldn't even catch that. So I'm not sure, like, that might have been... If he makes it... I don't know if he made it... Yeah, I think he made it out of the tackle box there. All right. Graham Gano on to attempt a field goal. It's a 53-yard attempt. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. So with 7:21 left to play in this game. Yep, it scooted through. They're showing the replay. It narrowly made it in. It hit the pole that holds the crossbar up. But yes, it is good. So 7:21 left to play in this game. Giants narrow the score to 17-13 in favor of the Eagles. So they're not even cutting to commercial break right now. The Giants are getting set to kick this away. Anaya Smith, Isaiah Rodgers back to return for the Eagles. Graham Gano on to kick it. And he gives it the boot, and that's going to sail into the end zone for a touchback. So the Eagles will start at their own 30-yard line. Quick score update. The Carolina Panthers have taken a lead over the Atlanta Falcons. It is 31-24 in favor of the Panthers. Washington has also taken the lead over the Dallas Cowboys, 16-12. Eagles lining up in pistol formation. Slot to the far side. Man in motion. McKee takes the snap. Hands it off to Kenny Gainwell. Gainwell is going to pick up a good couple there. Gets up about 3 or 4. So we have Kenny Gainwell back in. They will credit him for 3. So it is 2nd and 7 from the Eagles' 33-yard line. So McKee in the gun back to his right. 3 receivers left. McKee takes a snap. Back, looking, throws, caught by Gainwell. Picks up a good chunk. Picks up 6 there on that. It's going to bring up it's going to bring up 3rd and 1, really. So yeah, it is 21-13 in favor of the Bears, and it is 16-12 in favor of the Commanders. So those are the important games. Eagles lining up for a brotherly shove here. McKee takes a snap, and he's probably going to get this. I think he's got this. Yeah, they're blowing it dead, and the line judge is coming in like on the far side of the 40. So, yeah, it is 1st and 10 for the Eagles. We are inside of 6 minutes left to play in this game. The Giants, with a loss today, will fall to 3-14, still vying for that number 1 overall draft pick spot. No guarantees they're going to get it. Pistol formation for the Eagles. Johnny Wilson in motion to the far side. McKee takes the snap, back, throwing, and it is incomplete. And then we had a bunch of folks trying to say, oh, it was a live ball. It was not. They blew it incomplete. McKee was looking for Grant Calcaterra down the right sideline and couldn't connect. So it is 2nd and 10 for the Eagles from their own 41. It looks like there was a Giants player that was shaken up on that, so hopefully he's okay. Looks like that was Ty Summers. McKee in the gun, back to his right. McKee takes the snap, fakes the handoff, then throws. It is caught, and up to about the 49-yard line. Up to the 48-yard line goes Ainias Smith. So Ainias Smith picks up a good bit there. It is going to bring up a 3rd and 3 situation. It's a 7-yard pickup. McKee lines up under center. 3 receivers left. Kenny Gainwell deep in the backfield. McKee sends Smith in motion, takes the snap, hands it off to Smith. Smith is going to run to the outside and gets the first down and gets a couple yards beyond that. So it is a first down for the Eagles into Giants territory. Gets up to the Giants' 48-yard line. And now we have Flott down on injured. Looks like he's... Yeah, Elijah Chapman is out of this game. And then we just had Cordell Flott, corner for the Giants, get injured as well. So hopefully they're okay. So we have a stoppage right now, 4:12 left in this game. Again, Eagles right now. Holding on. This is a completely meaningless game for them. Looks like we have I formation-ish for the Eagles. McKee under center. We've got a man going in motion. McKee takes the snap, hands it off to Gainwell. Gainwell gets stopped at the line, and he's going to roll out to his left, and he's going to lose a bunch. Loses a bunch. He's brought down by Fox, it looks like. Tomon Fox. Or Tomon Fox. I apologize about the pronunciation. But it's going to be a loss of 4, so it's going to be 2nd and 14. So we have McKee now in the gun. Gainwell to his right. 3 receivers right. Jahan Dotson goes in motion to the near side. McKee takes the snap. Back. Looking. Has some time. Throws across the middle. Caught. Kenny Gainwell only picks up about 3 on that. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2 sticks. 3rd and 11 for the Eagles. At the Giants' 49. So, see what Kellen Moore decides to pick for this play. Kellen Moore, the Eagles' offensive play caller and offensive coordinator. First season here. Brought in after Brian Johnson got fired at the end of last season. McKee lines up in the gun. Gainwell to his right. McKee takes the snap. Back. Looking. Has some time, throws, caught by Ainias Smith down inside the 45 to about the 42. It is not enough for a first down, but it will get us to the 2-minute warning. So that is where things will stand there. It is 4th and 3 at the 2-minute warning. Eagles still on top, 17-13. The Giants have all 3 timeouts, though, so that is definitely something to be mindful of. They have plenty of time. Some quick checks around the league. It is 31-24 in Atlanta. Carolina is on top, 31-24. It is 16-12 still over in the Commanders-Cowboys game. The Commanders have 16, Cowboys have 12. It is still 21-13 in the Bears-Packers game. The Chicago Bears 21, the Packers 13. We are tied in Indianapolis. The Colts Jaguars are tied at 20 with under 4 minutes to go in that game. The New England Patriots 20, the Buffalo Bills 16. They've got about 5 minutes, a little bit more than that, 5 and a quarter left in that game. Tampa Bay has taken the lead over the New Orleans Saints. It is 20-19 with 10:09 left in that game. And then the Houston Texans 23, the Tennessee Titans 6, 4:25 left in that game. So again, the most important games right now for the Eagles. These are the games that determine who the Eagles' divisional round opponent will be. It is right now looking like the Eagles' divisional round opponent will be the Green Bay Packers. The Washington Commanders need to win, or they need a Green Bay Packers loss to clinch the 6th seed. The Eagles are locked in at the number 2, so the Eagles will play the 7th seed. So the Commanders, if they win or if the Packers lose, will lock in at the 6th. The Packers need a win and a Commanders loss to move up to that 6th spot, which right now does not look like it's happening. Although there's still plenty of time left in those games. The Packers game has 5:19, it looks like, left in that game, whereas the Commanders have 7:02 left in that game. So there's still plenty of time over there. Again, probably one of the most hotly anticipated matchups of Week 18, this final week of the regular season. And thank you so much for joining us here through this regular season. It's been a real blast bringing you these games. Will happen later tonight, game 272, with the Lions and Vikings. We're back from the 2-minute warning. McKee lines up under center, and now we have a player who just jumped off sides. And that will give the Eagles a first down. They're going to get Boogie Basham. I believe that's how you pronounce that, Boogie Basham. They're going to get him for the offsides jump. And that should ice the game for the Eagles. Because that will give the Eagles a 1st and 10 at the Giants' 41. Now, the Giants still have all 3 timeouts, so they could stop the clock all 3 times and get the ball. So they will not run victory formation. McKee's under center, takes the snap, hands it off to Kenny Gainwell. Gainwell is going to lose a yard there on that, and that is where the Giants will take their first timeout. So we've got 1:55 left in that game. Atlanta has just tied it up over in against the Carolina Panthers. It is 31-all. Atlanta must win, and the Atlanta must win and hope for a Buccaneers loss against the Saints if Atlanta wants to win the NFC South and make the playoffs. Otherwise, Atlanta is booking January tee times. Ty Summers is out of the game for the Giants. 2nd and 11. 1:55 left to play in this game. McKee in the gun. Gainwell to his right. Slot to the far side. McKee takes the snap. He's going to roll to his right, and he's going to throw incomplete. It was at the feet of Kenny Gainwell and off target anyway. So it will bring up a 3rd and 11 situation for the Eagles. First down will end this game. So 1:51 left. McKee in the gun. Play clock's winding down. They'll probably... they're gonna... They call it... The Eagles are gonna call a timeout here, I believe. Nope, they're gonna not get the timeout and ding the Eagles for... No, they're calling a timeout. My bad. So the Eagles will take their first charge time out of the half. So we're still at 1:51 left in this game here. It's a 3rd and 11 situation. There will be a play that gets pulled off from this. It gets pulled off here. First down will win the game for the Eagles. McKee in the gun, back to his right. Takes a snap, back, looking. Pressure's coming. McKee throws. It's caught. Ainias Smith gets out of bounds. He is short of the first down marker. Short even of the 30-yard line. That was a good chunk there. And it looks like we have some kind of a... Yeah, they're going to get the Giants for roughing the passer. They're going to get Thibodeaux on that. That's Kayvon Thibodeaux that they get, and that will end the game. Late hit on Tanner McKee, it looks like. Oh, yeah, no, they showed the replay. It was hands to the face there on the pass. And that flag came out faster than you could say anything. So that will ice the game for the Eagles because it does give them 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line of the Giants. So they're just going to do victory formation at this point and end this game here. Or at least they should do victory formation. No, they're going to run a play. Pistol formation for the Eagles. McKee takes a snap, hands it off to Gainwell. Gainwell not going to get there. I don't understand why you're... Yeah, Gainwell's going to lose 2 yards on that play. Giants took their second charge timeout. I don't know why you're running plays at this point. So it looks like this is going to be one of Drew Lock's first losses to the Eagles, based off of how they were showing the highlights. Pistol formation for the Eagles. McKee in the gun. Takes the snap, hands it off to Kenny Gainwell. Gainwell's going to roll out to the left and is going to get down inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. And the Giants should be taking their last time out here. And now there's a scuffle going on. Refs came in, broke that up. So 1:36 left to play in this game here. Dallas took the lead over Washington 19-16, 3:25 left in that game. Chicago is ahead of the Green Bay Packers 21-19. Chicago has the ball. That game is at the 2-minute warning. So it's looking like, because it's 1st and 10 for the Bears at the Green Bay 43-yard line. So it's looking like, again, it's one of those situations where a first down for the Bears will win the game. Still tied over in Atlanta, 31-31 between the Panthers and the Falcons. Pistol formation for the Eagles, 1:36. McKee takes the snap, hands it off to Kenny Gainwell. Gainwell is going to roll out to the right, and he's only going to pick up 1 on that. So it's going to be 4th and... Actually, he's not going to pick up anything at all. It's a no-gain situation. 4th and 7 for the Eagles from the Giants' 14-yard line. And this clock is winding down. Again, the Giants cannot stop the clock. Eagles will probably wind this down as much as possible before sending Jake Elliott out for a chip shot. Four, 3, 2, 1. Yep, timeout taken at 51 seconds by the Eagles. So they have one more timeout left if they should need to use it for insert reason here. I don't know why, because the Eagles are going to be sending Jake Elliott out to extend the lead. It's going to be a little bit of a chip shot for him. Jake Elliott 1 for 2 on the day. Made a 24-yarder, missed a 39-yarder. .32-yard attempt for Jake Elliott. Snap, hold, kick is up. And it is good. With 47 seconds left to play in the game, the Eagles extend the lead to a touchdown. It is the Eagles 20, the Giants 13. Eagles fans still super excited about that, even though this game means absolutely nothing. Quick check around the league. So the Carolina Panthers just took the lead over the Atlanta Falcons. It is 37-31 over there, with 4:01 left to play in that game. The Dallas Cowboys still on top, 19-16 over the Washington Commanders. The Chicago Bears still on top, 21-19 over the Green Bay Packers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers still on top, 20-19 over the New Orleans Saints. Those are the important games right now. Jake Elliott on to kick this away, and that is going to sail into the end zone for a touchback. So the Giants will get the ball to start at their own 30. 47 seconds left. No timeouts for the Giants. One timeout for the Eagles. The Eagles getting themselves into a position, hoping to add another Super Bowl banner to the rafters. Again, this game has been sort of a faux bye for this Eagles team. Tanner McKee, 27 for 41, so not as good as his performance last week. But the Eagles got it done. Locke in the gun, back to his left. Locke takes the snap back, looking, throwing. That is caught and is going to go ahead and get out of bounds. Is number 82, Daniel Bellinger, the tight end. So that does stop the clock with 41 seconds left. 2nd and 6 for the Giants. Ball's on their own 34. Locke is in the gun, empty backfield. Locke takes the snap, back, pressure coming. Locke's going to roll to his right, throw caught, and is going to get out of bounds. Is Eric Gray on that reception. So that does stop the clock at 36 seconds. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2 from the Giants' 38. So 3rd down and 2 for the Giants. Locke is in the gun. Gray to his left. Locke takes a snap, fakes the handoff. Back, looking, throwing deep, and that is picked off, and that is the game. That is picked off by Sidney Brown, and he is going to slide down at the Giants' 46-yard line, and this game is over. 24 seconds left. The game-sealing interception. He was looking for Jalen Hyatt, and Sidney Brown just way undercut that route. So that is going to end this game. It was a 21-yard return on the interception. But again, 24 seconds left in this game, and the Eagles will indubitably, at this point, finish with the victory and the season sweep of the New York Giants. Tanner McKee takes the knee, and that will do it as the seconds tick down. The Eagles players go out to shake hands. Saquon Barkley going out. Didn't play at all this game. Will finish the season without breaking the single season rushing record all time, and the clock hits 0, and that is the game. The Philadelphia Eagles finish the season 14-3 with a win over the New York Giants, and they are going to the playoffs. Now the hunt begins in earnest. So, big win for the Eagles, even though it was a completely meaningless game. It was a good opportunity to get some evaluation of some of our down roster players, especially since the Giants were playing a lot of their starters over the course of this game. Some quick checks around the league while we're still here. Green Bay has taken the lead over the Chicago Bears 22-21 with 54 seconds left in that game. So, if you're hoping to face the Washington Commanders next week, right now it's panning out, looking good for you there. But the Commanders have the ball in their game. They're down by a field goal. It is 19-16 in favor of the Cowboys. Minute 41 left in that game. The Carolina Panthers are ahead of the Atlanta Falcons. It is 38-31. 2.5 minutes left in that game there. Atlanta has the ball. They are vying for a playoff spot. They need to contend with the fact that they need to also have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lose, and right now the Buccaneers are winning 20-19 with 3:29 left in the game over there. The Houston Texans Tennessee Titans game went final. Texans defeated the Titans 23-14. The Jacksonville Indianapolis game remains tied at 23. Jacksonville has the ball. That game is in overtime. That game just entered overtime. And then the New England Patriots 23, Buffalo Bills 16. That game has about 98 seconds left over there. So, again, the important games right now, even this Eagles game really wasn't all that important. It was a good opportunity to take a look at some of our folks that are farther down on the roster. But also it was a good opportunity to take a look, or to give the starters some rest as they are looking forward to that. The Eagles will know their opponents for next season too by the end of the day today, so that's just something to be aware of. And yeah, we will be back next week for the divisional, not the divisional round, the wild card round, with your NFC East champion Philadelphia Eagles taking on either the Washington Commanders or the Green Bay Packers. We shall see what happens. But until then, thank you so much for a great regular season this year. I'm Joe Donahue, and as always, let's go Eagles.